Hey, what's good with it, Black Goose TV family? Y'all already know what time it is. Double salute as always. You feel me? Your boy Fluence is back in the building with some Fluence boxing news. We here, man. We here nonetheless. Happy Monday to the people. What's good with it? Hopefully the energy stays exactly where it is. I'm feeling great, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. And I don't even have a crazy Monday like that. But the energy is high. I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling absolute. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Y'all feeling the same way. And if not, when y'all come up in here, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can catch some of the energy, some of the vibe. Nonetheless, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's the beginning of the week. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really planning on, you know what I'm saying, being on the live that long. I'm not really planning on, you know what I'm saying, going on a, long type of session type side of the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm really just planning to be in and out. You feel me? I'm not even talking about the restaurant or the fast food establishment. I'm just saying in this particular stream, this particular live, I don't plan to be here that long. You know what I'm saying? Because it is beginning of the week. I got to make sure I get enough rest for the rest of the week. You know what I'm saying? Today was my rest day. So you know I'm finna go crazy. So it's gonna be tired, long nights, all that good stuff. But nonetheless, we here. We have some topics to talk about. There's nothing really crazy new going on in the boxing world, in the boxing community. No. But at the end of the day, this weekend, we do have a very, at least in my personal opinion, a very significant fight that I can't wait to watch. I'm very hyped for. I'm very excited for. I talked about it some yesterday. Dub Brightside came through. You know what I'm saying? Show love for it. Definitely had a great conversation on it. So I'm kind of going to continue off of that particular live, but also I'm gonna throw a little, you know what I'm saying, wrench in it. I'm gonna throw a little swerve in it. We're gonna take a turn, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna hit the curve, you know what I'm saying? However you want to see it. I'm not gonna be on that same particular topic to start off with, because there's definitely been some things that's been said that I want to discuss, as y'all can obviously in the title below. But there is something that I wanted to talk about, I wanted to get to in that live from yesterday that I never actually got to get to. And it has to do with Andrade himself actually speaking out. It's not much. He doesn't say much, but he did have something to say in regards to him pulling out. That's something I was waiting to see. That's something I've been waiting to discuss. So we're going to actually tackle that first. We're going to talk about that, dissect it, get through it. And then obviously, of course, next up, we're going, you know what I'm saying, get into the fact that Chris Eubank Sr. has some words, or at least more words, when it comes to the Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn fight. Now, with all that being said, before we get into everything, you know what I'm saying, I just want to say salute to the people. Let me make sure the camera is right. Let me say you know what I'm saying, the mic is right. Let me make sure I'm centered. You feel me? I hope everybody is enjoying their Monday. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. I hope everybody's Monday been cool. Everybody's Monday been relaxed. You know what I'm saying? And if it hasn't, I pray the rest of the week is a lot easier than it was today. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. With all that being said, man, if y'all come up in here, man, show your boy some love, man. Hit the like button below. You already know, man. The like button helps your boy get into the algorithm. You feel me? Subscribe to the channel that's right down below, somewhere up in here too. And then, you know what I'm saying? Comment on this joint, man. I got to hear y'all opinion, your perspective, how you feel about everything. That's what runs the channel. That's what gets it going. That's why I do what I do, man. I love hearing your perspective. It's all about your perspective. I haven't done a responding to the comments in probably like 2 to 3 weeks. So this Friday, man, we're going to do responding to the comments, man. Y'all got to know y'all being heard. Fact, and another fact. So with all that being said, notification gang too. So much love to the people, man. We're going to get into it, man, because like I said, I don't want this to be too long of a string. It's the beginning of the week. I got to make sure I got energy for the rest of the week. But we want to see how it goes. Much love to the people as always, man. Show some love back. But let's get into the topic at hand. And as much as y'all see the title below, we're going to actually change the order up a little bit because this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a minute. Andrade speaking out, and maybe I should possibly change the order of the title. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that right now because it doesn't make any sense for me to have the order of the title in the way it is if I'm actually doing it this way. You feel me? So I'm gonna go ahead, copy this, cut that, go to the beginning. You feel me? Put the Andrade speaks out, and we good to go. So everybody knows. So when they come in here, they're not fooled. They're like, "Wait, you supposed to talk about Chris Eubank? We're not gonna talk about that first." All right, so we good to go. So let's dive deep into the situation when it comes to Andrade, right? And I'm not gonna dive too deep. Like I said, I do not want the main focus of this stream to be about Andrade. I want to focus on this amazing mega fight that's coming up this particular weekend between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. That is the main focus of this particular Fluenceboxing episode. That's what I want to be talking about. That's what I want to be elaborating on. But I do want to get into the fact that Andrade did have some things to say. And that's what I've been waiting to hear from him. I don't understand why he pulled out. We've heard Zach Parker say a lot of things. Frank Warren said a lot of things. But we haven't heard anything from Demetrius Andrade himself or anything from Demetrius Andrade in his camp. And to me, that was, as an Andrade fan, as everybody's saying, he's a duck. Everybody's saying he's not what people trying to make him out to seem. He's not what people trying to make him out to be. It's discouraging. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like seeing that. You know what I'm saying? It hurts my soul. You know what I'm saying? On the 1-2 side of the game, like a straight clean punch. You feel me? Like I'm not blocking and I can't have no head movement. There's something going on with my Achilles, so I can't move like that. Now I'm on the floor wondering what's going on. So, like me personally, I'm very happy to hear that Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade has something to say. We're going to get into that. We're going to pull up the article. We're going to pull up the Twitter. We're going to pull up the Instagram. I don't care. Wherever it has to be, we definitely going to be taking a look at that. You know what I'm saying? So, let's get into that, man. The first thing that I got is going to be coming from Boxing News 24. I'm going to put this at the head of the frame, the front of the center, you know what I'm saying? The front of the center line, like a cut line, you feel me? Making sure everything is 100. And it's going to be coming from Boxing News 24. You know what I'm saying? And supposedly, I believe this is going to be coming from his Twitter. But we're going to see. Give me 1 second so I can pull it up for the people. I'm going to pull it up for the peeps. All right, here we go. All right, I got you. All right, so as y'all can see right here, coming from Boxing News 24, man, Demetrius Andrade says, we are just getting started. Stay calm. That's what he's saying. Obviously, I'm not diving deep into the actual, either it's a statement or a tweet. We're not there yet. We're going to get there. But the article says Demetrius Andrade is saying, we just getting started. Keep calm. What does this mean, people? Does this mean that he has a plan set? He has something in mind that we don't know what's going on? That he's building out a map? He's drawing out a map. He's creating something that we don't understand. Like, wait, like is he 2 steps ahead of us? Is this what's going on? Is this what Andrade is saying to all of his boo-boo fans? Because he's not talking to the haters. The haters don't give a damn. I've seen them in the comments. The haters is coming at us, Andrade fans, especially the ones who still have hope. They are coming at us disrespectfully. So what does this mean, Andrade? We just getting started. Keep calm. You coming off of a major shoulder injury. How can us boo-boo fans be calm? Let's see if his statement can relax. You know what I'm saying? Some of us boo-boo fans. Okay, so Andrade posted on social media, let his fans know to keep calm following the decision to pull out of his fight against Zach Parker. So, yeah, so that's unfortunate. He gave us nothing. All he said was Boo-Boo Andrade and the black lady right there, that he didn't post that. That's the ad. Boo-Boo Andrade, we just getting started. Keep calm. It's me again. All right, so he did this on his ad. See, this is what I don't like about Boxing News 24. How are you just going to make a whole report on such bullshit? And then he's going to do the it's me again. That makes me mad, man. I got his Instagram right here, though. We finna pull up Boo-Boo's Instagram, man. I don't even want to hear. I don't want to hear your opinion, Boxing News 24. You know that. I'll just pull up his own Instagram and make my own opinion. Because you're biased. All right, here we go, guys. All right. Boo-Boo Andrade, man. Where's this post? Okay, so must have been during a story. So maybe it was important for me to read. But I didn't really need to read because y'all saw it yourself. It said, No need to worry. And I think it was probably from Twitter. He said, no need to worry. It's me again. He's back. He'll be good. That's what he's telling us, man. Should we believe it? Who's he going to fight next? Is he doing the John Jones? He got to bulk up. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, I'm about to be at 168 for the first time. I got to bulk up. I got to be right. I don't know. He is coming off a major shoulder injury, man. Is he ducking? What y'all think, man? Or is he a young 35, young 34 years old? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to see him in his best years during this time right here? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I still got faith in Demetrius Andrade, man. I do. I think he's still a problem. I think a lot of fighters don't want him in this particular division. I'm telling you. But it's hard for me to defend him, man. He has Zach Parker. There's Janabek. Prove me wrong, Demetrius Boo-Boo. I just hate that he just says so little. He's not going to give us anything. When was this last post? This was 5 days ago. Here we go. So this is the post that Boxing News 24 was referring to. You know what I'm saying? When they were saying he basically is responding to everybody right here. This is all we got. Is we just getting started. Keep calm. Hopefully y'all can see this, man. That's what it's saying. That's what it's saying, man. That's it. We just getting started. Keep calm. Should we be calm? You know what I'm saying? Look at this. We had to do. Look at the comments. The comments is crazy. Just getting started. You almost 35 years old. Duck, Jamel, Triple G, Lara, Sergey, Janabek, and Parker. Come on, doo-doo. Could you get started signing a contract and fighting in 2022? That would be delightful. Man, the comments is crazy, bro. Go get that Benavides. Okay, that's some love right there. Let's go. I'm nervous, family. Okay. I mean, how the F you have fans? That's crazy. You got fans right here, man. But this is what they referring to right here. You know what I'm saying? This is the post. We just getting started. Keep calm. I don't know, man. Should us as Demetrius Andrade fans, should we be confident? Should we believe in his plan? You know what I'm saying? He's saying he's got something in store. He's saying he got something planned. He's saying, you know what I'm saying, this is what he's, you know, he's set this all up. You know what I'm saying? He set it all up. He's a master orchestrator. You feel me? Like y'all just been my, you know, y'all my puppets. I'm the puppeteer. You feel me? And that's what he's making it seem. He's like, y'all just, you know, chill back. You know what I'm saying? I got something planned. So what do y'all think, man? You think he's gonna come back crazy? He's gonna go crazy? I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous. You know, he's healthy. That's good to see. He's healthy. Shoulder injury, shoulder surgery was a success, it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Looks like he's back in his prime. He looks on 110%. That I got respect for. That's what I got a lot of love for. Okay, bet. I'm good to see him back healthy. Are we gonna see him back before the end of the year? I think it'd be a disappointment if we don't see Demetrius Andrade fight before the end of the year. This is coming from a boo-boo fan, a mega fan, super fan. For you to not fight before the end of the year, I don't know. It depends on, but at the same time, if you're gonna have that type of criticism for Demetrius Andrade, you're gonna have to have that same criticism for Jamal Charlo. Because if Jamal Charlo doesn't fight before the end of the year, it's kind of the same thing. Jamal supposedly had an injury. I don't know if it was a back or arm injury, something like that. He's not gonna fight again for the rest of this year. So, you know, I'm not mad at it. Can't be mad at it. But this is it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna enlarge it one more time for the people, man. This is the response. This is the response to everything. It's the response to, you know, him having the shoulder injury, you know, with Zach Parker, originally supposed to be scheduled for May. Him having to pull out for that, get the surgery. He didn't even really want to say anything to us, you know, as fans about it. Kind of kept quiet the whole entire time, like nothing happened. You know, quietly, you know, they rescheduled the rematch. You know, the purse bid was ridiculously low, 300,000, 315. You know what I'm saying? Payout would have been like 180K or something disrespectful. You know, this is all he wants to give us, you know, is we just getting started. Keep calm. It's rough, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's a rough response. He don't respect his fans. None, man. No story, nothing. I don't know, man. I'll be interested to see what's next, man. I'm definitely watching. I'm definitely waiting. I'm definitely hoping, man. As a fan, man. You know what I'm saying? Just seems like I just don't know what's going on right now, man. He gave that belt up. That belt's gone now. That's gone now. You feel me? Yeah. But anyways, like I said, man, straight to the point, man. I wanted to get in that real quick. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to linger on that, too long. If you want to be 100 with you, I did want to discuss that, a little bit, but I'm very interested to see where, Demetrius Andrade decides to go from here. I'm very interested to see, what his trajectory is going to be. I'm very interested to see what his next move is going to be, who his next opponent is going to be, how he's going to take this. He's going to fight at 168. He's going to fight at 160. I don't think he should go back down to 160. It would be embarrassment at this point. It would, constitute everybody and give everyone the right to easily say that, obviously, at 160, he was ducking Janibek if he goes back down to 160. So, you can't get mad at him for, not wanting to pay out or the payday that was supposed to be, guaranteed when it comes to the Zach Parker fight for the, when they remade it. So that's understandable. But at the end of the day, it still doesn't look good. You got to be 100 with it. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't look good. But I do think, the same amount of criticism that we're giving Demetrius Andrade, I do think we have to give the same amount of criticism to Jermall Charlo. I think it's only right. I think it's, there's no different situations, especially since we're talking about the opponents that were going to be faced. Definitely Andrade had a much tougher opponent ahead of him. So with that being said, that's my personal opinion on the whole entire situation. You guys can feel however you want about it. But, at the end of the day, if I don't know, I don't really care. So make sure you guys drop your feelings. Make sure you drop your comment. Let me know how you feel about the whole entire situation. It becomes when it comes to Demetrius Andrade and how you compare the Demetrius Andrade Zach Parker situation to the Jermall Charlo Malecki situation. So now with that being said, we're going to get to the main reason why we're even live tonight. We're talking about a fight that's coming up this weekend. It's going to be nothing but a good time, man. I can't wait for the fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how y'all feel. If I was y'all, I definitely would be in the same type of mindset, the same type of mood. But, nonetheless, I think it's going to be a good time when it comes to Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Now, with that being said, there's nothing like a good time with a little bit of controversy sprinkled in it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Do you smell what the Rock is cooking? Listen, y'all. We all know that, at least from the outside looking in, what's been reported, what's been said, what's somewhat been made clear. Chris Eubank Sr. is not in favor of this fight happening. And, multiple times he said things, that basically confirms that very sentiment. So, once again, Chris Eubank Sr. is speaking out against this particular fight between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. He's showcasing that he is not a fan of it. This kind of comes back down to it. I think I was talking a little bit about it with Dub Rightside yesterday in particulars. In regards to this fight, I remember I was saying, who knows? I wasn't a big fan of Chris Eubank Jr. dropping Roy Jones Jr. for this fight because, from the outside looking in, it seems like Chris Eubank Sr. is not on board for this fight. So it's like you're not really having, are you doing this hoping he's going to be in your corner? Because, I feel like there's still no confirmation when it comes to that, but he's saying there is confirmation for that. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of trouble in reports when it comes to that particular situation that just, disputes that. Or you can look at it from, the B perspective. We're okay. Maybe, what I'm saying, seniors just looking at it from a point where, they're just trying to build the fight. The more controversy, the more drama, the more eyes. I don't know. I don't know what to take from it. I don't see Chris Eubank Sr. as that type of person. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he had a very eccentric career, but that was his character. That's just how he moved. That's what he was. So in this particular situation, it's been pretty documented that, Senior hasn't necessarily been, in favor of this particular fight. That's just a fact. So, what I'm saying? With that being said, there's been new reports where Chris Eubank Sr. has basically said boycott this particular fight. He's saying this fight shouldn't happen. He's saying there's no reason, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say quote for quote because I haven't read the article yet. We definitely gonna pull that up so I can give y'all the quote for quote. But this is just all for me reading the headlines. Like he's like this is dangerous. This is how people end up suffering. This is how people end up having brain damage. And if Chris Eubank Sr. is definitely saying that, and he's putting that out there in the media. It's hard for me to even for the second even think that he's doing this. One, to try and cause controversy just to promote a fight, and two, for me to think that he's going to be in the corner of Chris Eubank Jr. And three, how much would that affect Chris Eubank Jr.? I'm like, all these things. I'm like, Chris Eubank Jr.'s first effort was he wanted him to cancel the fight because of the weight cut, etc. He said what he said. He even said himself, I want this fight canceled. He never said, it's going to be canceled. But if you read his quotes, so, but still, that was the first incident. Said he wasn't going to be in the corner. People kept asking Chris Eubank Jr., is he going to be in the corner? At first, he said he didn't know. Later, he confirmed he was. But now, with him to come out and say this, it's still hard to believe that. So, I just wonder, if all these distractions, are these going to be distractions for Chris Eubank Jr.? Like, what's the case? Like, we're a week away from the fight for, Chris Eubank Jr. to say something like this so publicly again. You would think at this point, like, even if you aren't in support of the necessarily fight going and moving forward, you would at least not, make as many statements that can possibly distract Chris Eubank Jr. from the fight. Because at this point, he can't pull out. He's a week out. Like, what would it look like if he pulled out now? So you would think at this point, you would keep some of these inflammatory comments to yourself. But also, I'm saying it's hard to say because I understand if he really believes the words that he's saying, or at least what's being, put on, pen to paper, whatever the case may be. I can't be mad at him. You know what I'm saying? But let me not talk so much. Let's get the actual quotes. You know what I'm saying? I got the articles pulled up right here. We're gonna go to boxingscene.com. Pull this up for them. Pull it up for the people. So as you guys can see, Chris Eubank Sr. calls for the boycott of Eubank Jr. versus Benn. This is how brain injuries occur. That's a strong statement, man. That's a real strong statement. I'm telling you this right now, man. Chris Eubank Sr. has felt very adamant and very strongly about this this catchweight bout between his son and Conor Benn. He's not a fan at all of Chris Eubank Jr. having to come down and being at a weight he's never had to fight at in his entire career. This is a week out, guys. Like this, it's not like this is a month out, a month and a half out. Like Chris Eubank Sr. is saying some very powerful, distracting words, and his son, whether he hears it or not, which he has to, how is he going to react? Is Eubank Sr. going to be in his corner? Conor Benn Jr. is going to be in Conor Benn's. Conor Benn Sr. is going to be in Conor Benn. Nigel Benn is going to be in Conor Benn's corner. So come on, let's go ahead and read this. Chris Eubank Sr. wants the boxing world to spurn what is being touted as the biggest all-British boxing fight in recent memory. The former champion and British boxing icon recently came out against a proposed 157-pound catchweight fight between his son and the middleweight and super middleweight contender Chris Eubank Jr. and rising welterweight Conor Benn. The two are set to face each other this Saturday at the O2 Arena in London. Eubank Sr. and Benn's father, Nigel Benn, were responsible for Britain's most fierce boxing rivalry during the 1990s. But Eubank Sr. has been mostly persona non grata for most of the build-up for a fight whose intrigue is based partly on his accomplishments. His lone appearance, if you can call it that, was to tell the Daily Mail that he is adamantly against the fight taking place. Here it comes. Citing the dangerous weight cut that his son would have to endure. Eubank Sr. in fact even seemed to hint that he would try to take legal action if the fight proceeded. Wow. I didn't even know about that right there. Eubank Sr. in fact even seemed to hint that he would try to take legal action if the fight proceeded. In a recent statement issued to The Fight is Right, a British boxing podcast, Eubank Sr. has doubled down on the stand, calling for a boycott of the fight. Dear Spencer and The Fight is Right, boycott the fight. Eubank Jr. versus Benn. Eubank told The Fight is Right host Spencer Fearon and Tunde Ajayi. You know what 3 pounds beneath the middleweight limit at 33 years can do. This is how brain injuries occur. Eubank Sr. may be most sensitive to the subject of brain damage than most other people. In 1991, Eubank Sr. fought Michael Watson in a rematch that ended with Watson incurring a near fatal brain injury and being in a coma for more than a month. Eubank Jr. also was in a similar situation as his father in 2016. He fought Nick Blackwell for the Brisbane middleweight title, stopping him in the 10th round. Blackwell, however, turned out to have suffered a brain bleed and was subsequently, I'm saying it all wrong, placed in a medically induced coma. Wow. So what was most powerful was the fact that, I'm saying, Eubank Sr., he's standing behind, what his original comments were. He wants this fight to be boycotted. He thinks, and you can't, if there's one thing that I think is not over dramatic when it comes to what Chris Eubank Sr. is saying, is I think he's saying it's not necessarily the weight cut, but it's the fact that Eubank Jr. is doing such a drastic weight cut at the age he's at when he's never done it. Like if Eubank Jr. was like 26, 27, maybe even 28, maybe even 29, right? Okay. But, Eubank is 33 going on 34. And for him to make a drastic weight cut that he's never fought at, how much of an impact will that be on his performance and how he's able to, that's what, Senior he's scared of and he doesn't like. And what's weird to me is, for Chris Eubank Jr., for this particular fight, for him to drop Roy Jones Jr. because he wants to go back to his roots and have Senior in his corner, but Senior is not even in support of this fight, it scares me a little bit. I'm not sure if we're going to see the Eubank Jr. that we need to see. That's what I'm scared of. If he had Roy Jones Jr. in his corner still for this fight, I would be a lot more confident. But him not having Roy Jones in his corner and then knowing what's going on with Chris Eubank Sr. seemingly not being even confident or necessarily wanting to be involved with the fight when the boycott, even threatening possibly might sue somebody if the fight goes on. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel, being a Chris Eubank Jr. fan going into this fight. You know what I'm saying? Even though I feel like Chris Eubank Jr. should win, but I think there's just so many outside distractions, a lot of things going on outside that's going to be hard to overcome at 33 years old. And, this seemingly not being for a belt, just being like for a legacy, what are you waking up for this fight? Like, why? Like, you already saying that you don't respect him. What's going to make you wake up and work hard to beat this guy? Unless you purposely come in and miss weight. So, that I'm not mad at what Chris Eubank Sr. is saying. I'm not mad at it. I don't disagree with anything that Chris Eubank Sr. is saying, and I'm very interested to see if he ends up being in the quarter for the night of the fight, and that's this weekend. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be a motherfucking good time. At the end of the day, respectfully to Chris Eubank Sr., respectfully to Chris Eubank Sr. But I'm watching the fight. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. So what I'm gonna do real quick, we're gonna watch a reaction video of Conor Benn responding to Chris Eubank Sr. Saying that he or we should boycott the fight. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up real quick. I have not seen this just yet, so I will be seeing this for the first time, just like you guys will be seeing it. All right, I'm about to pull this up for the peeps, for the people. Hopefully, y'all enjoying y'all Monday, man. There we go. I got you. Looks like Conor Benn is not. He's not in agreement at all when it comes to anything that Chris Eubank Sr. is saying. So let's get this going.
That might put me in a very negative light. Yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed that mold.
This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. It's finally here. Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. Fight week is upon us. We're on the red carpet. Conor Benn's dressed for the occasion. What we got here? D&G.
Little D&G, little preview number.
And you actually wear real stuff. Eddie wears fake ones on Canelo Fight Week.
Is it, yeah?
Yeah, Conor, I mean, I watched the second episode at Match about last night. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it yet.
No, I haven't.
Some emotional moments with you and your dad when you were walking down the Isle of Wight. And yeah, you it was quite emotional watching our thought, seeing you two.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know what they put in there. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, Conor, is it starting to get real now, or has it been real since you started camp?
It's been real from the get-go, but I mean, I just tap into my zone now. That's it. I just tap into my zone. That's it.
What does that mean? Expand on that.
getting primed to go to war. I'm getting in my element, in my zone, getting ready to fight, man.
That zone, has that been the same for every fight? Or is it slightly different for this fight?
No, I'd say it's been the same for every fight. I'd say the closer the fight gets, the more feelings I get, the more I'm just ready to go, man. The more I just like get fueled with like rage.
Rage, that's a strong word. Is that how you're going to come out, with rage?
You tell me.
That's how we expect you to fight Chris Eubank Jr. Yeah.
Well, highly likely, yeah. I've done it 21 times, so you know I'm gonna come out there and do what I gotta do, man.
Just need to get we spoke the other day, so I'm not going to keep this too long. Just want to get your reaction to his dad's.
All right, right before we get into the reaction of him reacting to what Chris Eubank Jr. had to say, I just did want to say, you can tell Conor Benn is on edge. So, now if I'm a Conor Benn fan, I'm a little bit worried because that tells me he's literally saying, I've done this 21 times. I came out with rage. So, are you giving away your game plan? Are you going to fight the way you've always fought? You're going to come out. You're going to be looking for the knockout. You're not going to be controlled, or you're just giving, you're playing toy. Like him stuttering and things like that. That's telling me like he's amped. He's very antsy. He's ready for the fight. It's very close to that fight time. So, and you can tell he's ready to go, man. Him talking about it, period, man, got him, on 100. So, now let's see what he has to say in response to Chris Eubank Senior saying boycott the fight. Let's see what he has to say.
Comments, Chris Eubank Senior saying everyone should boycott the fight.
PR. That's what I think.
He said it's going to be unsafe for his son to get in there.
Listen, I don't know why he's got to keep taking it there. I don't know why Eubank Senior keeps taking it. Maybe because he's not involved, he's got the ump. But why has he got to keep taking it there, making it dark? It ain't about that. It ain't about that. I'm coming up 10 pounds. My dad ain't concerned. I'm coming up 10 pounds. My dad is not concerned in the slightest.
I really do like Ben right there in his response. He really does. Like, this is how I see it personally. Maybe I'm fluent right now, but not like me personally. The way I see it, you can tell Ben's like, he's really disturbed. He's like, why do you have to take it to such a dark place? You can tell, Ben, he's someone he doesn't really want to hurt. You know what I'm saying? But he's in there. He's a sport, and he understands what he's doing. I think the disconnect easily is because of the tragedy that happened in the Eubank Jr. family. I think that's one thing. I think another thing is that's just like, it is interesting. He is taking it, Senior is taking it to such an extreme. So I don't. It is interesting. Like when you look at it, if you're in Conor Benn's situation, from his standpoint, that's really a head game because you also know what your opponent, what his father, you respect them because they are legends of the sport. You know what they went through. Hearing Senior say that, like that will mess with your head because it's almost like damn, like I'm trying to just worry about the fight, but me as an opponent, like that is rough, man. That's the situation, man. So I'm gonna run a little back, man. That's powerful.
Ain't about that. I'm coming up. Why has he got to keep Eubank Senior's keep
to get in there?
Listen, I don't know why he's got to keep taking it there. I don't know why Eubank Senior's keep taking it. Maybe because he's not involved, he's got the ump. But why has he got to keep taking it there, making it dark? It ain't about that. It ain't about that. I'm coming up 10 pounds. My dad ain't concerned. I'm coming up 10 pounds. My dad is not concerned in the slightest. Why are you concerned about your son dropping 2-3 pounds? 3 pounds. Minor. Stop being so dramatic with it.
Major feeling.
I will say this: there is a big difference between coming up in a couple of pounds, 3 to 4 pounds, at the young and ripe age of 25, which means the pounds that you're coming up in is probably going to be, where you're going to weigh at in your prime years. So you're really just coming into your own a little bit earlier than usual and getting more comfortable at what you'll probably be weighing in at a little bit later in your fighting career, in comparison to someone who's 33 years old, who's fought at a certain weight class their entire career, and then all of a sudden they're going to drop below that weight class. A lot of people are saying there's an advantage to Chris Eubank Jr. because he's the bigger man, but if the bigger man has to cut below a weight that he's not used to cutting, is that really an advantage? How will he recover from that weight cut? And that's what Chris Eubank Senior is worried about.
Feelings very clear there. Conor, look forward to a great week. Obviously, we'll speak to you during the week. I'm sure Coogan will grab you. But appreciate your time and enjoy the rest of your night here, all right?
He seen real quick. I'm gonna play that one more time. I don't know why. I'm gonna play that one more time. He seemed very irritated by that question. I'm gonna play this one more time. I'm sorry, guys. He seemed so irritated.
That zone, has that been the same for every fight? Or is it slightly different for this fight?
No, I'd say it's been the same for every fight. I'd say the closer the fight gets, the more
Yeah, hit the like button
feelings
for
I
your
get,
boy,
the more I'm just ready to go, man. The more I just like get fueled with like rage.
Rage, that's a strong word. Is that how you're going to come out? With rage?
You tell me. I've done it.
That's how we expect you to fight Chris Eubank Jr., yeah.
Well, highly likely, yeah. I've done it 21 times. So I'm gonna come out there and do what I gotta do, man.
Just need to get your. We spoke the other day, so I'm not
Here
going to
it
keep
goes.
this too long. Just want to get
Check
your
this out,
reaction
y'all.
to his dad's comments, Chris Eubank Sr., saying everyone should boycott the fight.
Look at this. He didn't like this.
PR. That's what I think.
He said PR.
He said
So
it's gonna be
that's
unsafe
what I
for his son
said.
to get-
I missed that the first
I don't know why
time.
he's got to keep taking it there. I don't know why Eubank Senior keeps taking it. Maybe because he's not involved. He's got the ump. But why has he got to keep taking it there, making it dark? It ain't about that. It ain't about that. I'm coming up £10. My dad ain't concerned. I'm coming up £10. My dad is not concerned in the slightest. Why are you concerned about your son dropping £2-3? £3. Minor. Stop being so dramatic with it.
Just remember that age difference I said, y'all, man. That age difference, what you used to. Conor Benn's coming up in weight, couple pounds, 3-4 pounds. You're most likely going to be weighing that as you get older in age. You're a young gun right now. You don't understand how your body catches up with you. Chris Eubank Jr., he's at the tail end of his career for the most part. Even though he hasn't taken much damage, though, he's 33 years old. I don't see him fighting past 38 if he's smart. So in my personal opinion, like, you got to understand, like, Chris Eubank Sr., he sees this. He's like, this is a come up for Conor Benn. Everyone knows this is a come up. Chris Eubank Jr. is talking about he'll retire if he doesn't get this fight, if he doesn't win this fight. Excuse me, yo. I'm like, think about that. That's a come up. Conor Benn is saying he'll retire if he doesn't win this fight. Excuse me, Chris Eubank Jr. is saying he'll retire if he doesn't win this fight. That's crazy. I'm like, Conor Benn says if he'll lose this fight, he just moves on to the next one. That's where his career is at right now. That's where his age is at. Chris Eubank Jr., he can't even afford to lose this fight. So what I want to look up right now, I want to look up an interview for Chris Eubank Jr. before I want to go into the articles, because I got some dope articles for this particular fight. But before I go to the article, other than, we already talked about the Chris Eubank Jr., the boycotting. I want to talk, Eddie Hearn was talking about, this making a whole lot of money. I might even... You know what? I love y'all. Salute to the BlakGooseTV family. I'm gonna pull up. Let's go to Eddie Hearn reacts to what Chris Eubank Jr. had to say. Let's pull that up. Is that's what I was gonna man, I hope it's a video though. They actually have it of it. Cause I'm like, I definitely have the article. Oh yeah, here it goes. All right, yeah, we on now, boy. Y'all not being patient. I got the video. Damn, and I got some other interviews we're gonna definitely do some reactions to. So we feeling good. I did not expect to be up on this. I'm gonna have to find the point. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, they was talking about Demetrius Andrade and Zach Parker. That's great. That's crazy. All right, I think I found it. All right, so we definitely gonna let's see what Eddie Hearn has to say about the situation. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Chris Eubank Sr. saying what he had to say. And we might be having to watch some extra shit, but we still, you know what I'm saying? We watching, you know, some Eddie Hearn's bullshit. So at the end of the day, man, enjoy this shit. You feel me?
Teasing, whatever you want to call it. And Conor is just this. I'm not sure he's actually eating the entire burger or the entire cake. If he is, fair play to him. And if he makes 157, fair play to him. But yeah, I just feel like he's trolling, and he's doing a great job, because you have to understand, as much the similarities in the ring are also replicated outside of the ring, right? Junior is, you know, he's sort of posturing, sort of teasing, whatever you want to call it. And Conor is just this fired up. I mean, they're their father's sons, and they just blend and mix so beautifully. Like at the press conference, like at the head-to-head, the face-off. It's brilliant to watch, because you've got one guy who's just sort of winding the other young, fierce lion up, and he's just baiting him, and he's just prodding him. And that's what you're seeing. And all the stuff across social media. Like, I think when it first started, Conor probably did cut. Have you seen that? Have you seen Eubank eating that burger? Like, because Conor's fired up, and Eubank will want to wind Conor up, because he'll want Conor to make a mistake. He'll want him to be reckless in there. But Conor actually has to be aggressive but disciplined. And I think that the two just work beautifully together.
Has it been stated officially, Eddie, what the rehydration is for the next day?
No, but I said in many interviews, it's around the same number as the IBF check weight.
Less than the IBF.
Around the same original number. They've actually increased that number now, but the original number, around 10 pounds, the rehydration. It's very safe. You know, it's not
Damn,
like
his rehydration.
Because it's like every pound.
So he's claiming the rehydration is around 10 pounds. That's what Eddie Hearn is saying. He's saying his if Chris Eubank Jr. wants to, he can walk into that ring weighing 167, damn near 170. Excuse me. That's what he's claiming. Do y'all believe that? That seems like an astronomical number. A rehydration cost of 10 pounds seems ridiculous. Why are y'all even fighting at a weight class? What? That seems ridiculous. I'm gonna go ahead and minimize myself, because I'm gonna take me a little break real quick. Unless I gotta act, you know what I'm saying, react to something that sounds crazy. But that sounds crazy.
It does seem to make a difference in this.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're allowed. I mean,
if you're not allowed, then don't.
Yeah, I can't. I'll give you again. It's around 10 pounds.
It's around 10 pounds.
So,
yeah,
but
and
it's
you
not
don't
like-
know.
It's fair. It's really fair. You've got a kid coming up from 147.
And the kid
to
coming up from 147. You see how we changed you are a promoter at hand. You are cap. You don't know. It's probably not even a 10-pound rehydration class. It's around 10 pounds. Yeah, I don't know. Look, a kid coming up, like you're focusing on someone coming up, like, man, trash. Now, Chris Eubank Senior, I see what you're saying.
To 157.
Cap.
And they can hydrate overnight. The hydration is in the morning.
He's had like 3
11
pounds,
in the morning.
extra 3 pounds.
And that's the number. And then you've got the whole day. You've still got another 12 hours, 11 hours till the fight.
Chill, bro.
Could it be as low as £8?
No.
Okay. All right. Leave it there. Leave it there. It's fine. Okay.
Laughing.
But it is an interesting stat.
Eddie Hearn, you make me
Isn't
mad
it?
when you do shit
What
like this.
Rehydration is to the pound. But okay, so what are you expecting this week? Obviously, we're just on Monday today, but what are you expecting?
Huge media coverage. I'm expecting an unbelievable build-up. I'm expecting a little bit of argy.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rewind it all the way back from Eddie Hearn specifically talking about this particular fight.
Show.
You guys can be mad at me as much as you want, but I don't think you'll be that mad at me, because I think the only person that's up in here is like one other person. So you can't be that mad at me. So I want to actually do my little break, but I want to hear this little shit from Eddie Hearn talking specifically about this fight, because it seemed like some straight bullshit.
Sort of posturing, sort of teasing, whatever you want to call it. And Conor is just this fired up. I mean, they're their father's sons, and he'll run with it, and he'll run with it all in weight. Let me tell you about who was probably one of the biggest savages of making weight. Chris Eubank Senior. Chris Eubank Senior.
All right, we're gonna roll it back. We're just gonna roll it back from the very beginning. We'll be right back. I'm gonna let this run through.
We don't even know if he's going to be at the fight. he has made some comments. I think
And
it's
so
on
that's
Spencer
when he's
Fearon.
actually
Well,
addressing
it's on
everything. It's
Red
in the very
Sent him,
beginning.
I think, a draft agreement. I think it took.
So that kind of makes me
oh,
mad. So you guys are gonna see it
Is
before
that-
me
we're
when I come
starting
back.
fight
I'm gonna
week.
listen to it
Yeah, we're
again. I'm gonna
here.
let it run
I
through.
mean, look, I think
But much
people
love to
realise,
people. I'm
like,
gonna be right
when
back.
we
okay?
first approached Calla and Wasserman with this fight and sent them, I think, a draft agreement, I think it took over 2 months to get this fight done. And at the end, it was dragging on like I thought it would never happen. And it was really from Eubank's side, really. And they came back late notice. They wanted to walk second, then have the name first and all that. And it was a little bit of that. But we got there and we're here. And it's just unbelievable how quickly it's come around. And it's unbelievable how this fight has caught the imagination. I mean, literally, you've been downstairs, you've seen the hype. You can't go around London or the country without seeing Eubank Benn. Big BBC documentary on Wednesday. It is huge media presence all week. It's one of the biggest fights we've ever done. And I can't quite believe it's happening, in all honesty, because I keep thinking about Conor Benn making the ring walk, with his old man, and Eubank coming out to simply the best and vaulting over the ropes, and Nigel in one corner, maybe Senior in another corner. And just, it's surreal. And it's upon us. And it's massive. And I can't wait.
Right, I've got to ask you about this because obviously we don't know whether Senior is going to be here at all this week. We don't even know if he's going to be at the fight. He has made some comments. I think it was on Spencer Fearon and Tunde's podcast, saying that people should boycott the fight. This is from previous comments from a few weeks ago regarding comments about supposedly pulling his son out the fight, etc. So what have you made of what he said about boycotting the fight?
I think he's very stubborn. I think, he made a couple of comments a few weeks ago about the weight. Don't forget, Eubank Senior knew about this fight. He knew about the weight, and Chris Jr. signed the fight. There wasn't any major concerns then. And at the same time, he has these concerns about the weight, yet Junior is out there dining out on, Nurserette last night, KFC, cookies, cakes, etc. So, the people that are on the ground involved with the camp, Ronnie Davis, obviously the British Boxing Board of Control that will be weighing him, are all happy with the numbers. So, I don't really see the concern. I think the bigger danger, in all honesty, is with Conor Benn. This is a 147-pounder that's coming up to 157-pound that rehydrates to 167-pound in the morning. I mean, he's at a massive disadvantage. But there has to be a middle ground. Whenever there's a fight like this, there has to be a middle ground that's fair. And I truly believe both parties found that ground. Coming down, I think he weighed 159 for his last fight. So he's really coming down 2 and a bit pounds from the weight he just made. So it's going to be tough. And, when you talk about making weight, let me tell you about who was probably one of the biggest savages of making weight. Chris Eubank Sr. Chris Eubank Sr., the stories my old man has told me about him making weight and how mentally strong and fierce he was. And understand this, fight fans that are a little bit younger than me. When Chris Eubank Sr. fought Nigel Benn, they used to weigh in on the same day. Do you know how much weight Chris Eubank Sr. lost?
All right, y'all can hate me all y'all want, but I'm starting it over from the beginning because I did actually watch the middle of this version. So y'all late, whoever came in late. So I want to hear what he has to say in reference to Chris Eubank Sr. Talking about you should boycott this fight. So y'all can be mad at me as much as y'all want, but that's what I want to hear. So I don't care.
To do this, that this is coming off because it was branded as a bit of a fantasy fight, and to be fair, it still is a bit of a fantasy fight. But fair play, 5 days out, we're starting fight week.
Yeah, we're here. I mean, look, I think people realise, like, when we first approached Calla and Wasserman with this fight and sent them, I think, a draft agreement, I think it took over 2 months to get this fight done. And at the end, it was dragging on like I thought it would never happen. And it was really from Eubank's side, really. And they came back late notice. They wanted to walk.
We said Eubank's side. Eubank said it wasn't from his side.
A little bit of that, but we got there.
Eubank wouldn't like to hear that.
And it's just unbelievable.
Eubank said it wasn't from his side. Why you talking that shit, Eddie?
This fight has caught the imagination. I mean,
be 100, Eddie.
You've seen the hype.
You
can't go around London or the country without seeing Eubank Benn. Big BBC documentary on Wednesday. It is huge media presence all week. It's one of the biggest fights we've ever done. And I can't quite believe it's happening, in all honesty, because I keep thinking about Conor Benn making the ring walk, you know, with his old man, and Eubank coming out to simply the best.
Eddie
and
Hearn want
waltzing
that
over the
money, boy.
ropes, and Nigel in one corner, maybe Senior
You
in
ain't
another
addressing
corner.
none of this
It's
shit
just-
I want you to address,
it's surreal.
Eddie.
And it's upon us. And it's massive. And
It's
I can't
massive.
wait.
Right, I've got to
Ask
ask
him
you
the
about
real
this
question,
because
nigga.
obviously we don't know whether Senior is going to be here at all this
That's the
week.
question,
We don't
man.
even know if he's going to be at the fight.
Ask him the
He
real
has made
question.
some comments. I think it was on Spencer Fearon in somebody's podcast, saying that people should boycott the fight. This is from
Talk
previous
about it.
comments from a few weeks ago regarding
What you got to say, Eddie?
comments
EH.
about supposedly pulling his son out of the fight, etc. So, what have you made of what he said about boycotting the fight?
I think he's very stubborn. I think, you know, he made a couple of comments a few weeks ago about the weight. Don't forget, Eubank Senior knew about this fight. He knew about the weight, and Chris Jr. signed the fight. There wasn't any major concerns then. And at the same time, you know, he has these concerns about the weight, yet Junior is out there dining out on, you know, Nurserette last night, KFC, cookie.
Real quick, I want to tell y'all this is a manipulation tactic coming from a very savvy promoter, someone who's been in the game for a long time. Chris Eubank Sr. has not been someone who's been a main point in the corner of when it comes to Chris Eubank Jr. for a long time in his career, at least the last 4 fights, last couple of years he's been with Roy Jones Jr. So for him to try to make it seem as if the decisions that are being made by Chris Eubank Jr. is overseen or advised by Chris Eubank Sr. is absolutely distasteful. It's absolutely disrespectful. Anybody who knows the sport knows that there is you can't there's no correlation. There's no direct correlation between Eubank Sr. and Eubank Jr. when it comes to the decisions made boxing wise for Eubank Jr. So a very disrespectful and very distasteful way to go about it, Eddie Hearn. For someone who knows, people who don't know, they're just gonna look at it, they're gonna read it, they're gonna listen to it. It's not gonna be a big deal. But someone who is a fan of Eubank Jr., who's followed Eubank Jr., we know Eubank Sr. has nothing to do with the decisions made on his boxing career when it comes to Eubank Jr.
Cakes, etc. So, the people that are on the ground involved with the camp, Ronnie Davis, obviously the British Boxing Board of Control that will be weighing him, are all happy with the numbers. So, I don't really see the concern. I think the bigger danger, in all honesty, is with Conor Benn. This is a 147 pounder that's coming up to 157 pound that rehydrates to 167 pound in the morning. I mean, he's at
Should be a lawyer, deflect.
a massive disadvantage. But there has to be a middle ground. Whenever there's a fight like this, there has to be a middle ground that's fair. And I truly believe both parties found that ground. You know, coming down, I think he weighed 159 for his last fight. So he's really coming down 2 and a bit pounds from the weight he just made. So it's going to be tough. And
What's he talking about?
when you talk about making weight, let me tell you about who was probably one of the biggest savages of making weight.
Look now how he tries to get the audience on his
Chris
side. He's like,
Eubank
I was
Sr.,
just
the stories
insulting-
my old man has told me about.
I was
him
just
making
insulting
weight.
the enemy, and now I'm gonna compliment the enemy. I'm gonna get the enemy on my side by complimenting them and saying, like, this is how I appreciate them for making weight. So there's no reason for him to be insulting someone or disputing someone when it comes to having to drop a certain weight, because he always made weight. So it's a hypocrite. He's calling him a hypocrite, but at the same time, he's appreciating them, he's complimenting them, he's showing them love. Eddie Hearn is great at what he does. His mind tactics, his speech tactics, his conversation tactics is absolutely wonderful. I respect them, I applaud them, I admire them. I'm actually in awe of them a little bit. I study them just on the side of the game, but I'm not fooled.
Was to hydrate from the weigh-in. So, I think with Senior, he's of course he's going to have his opinion, but he's also stubborn. And once he has this idea, he'll run with it, and he'll run with it all week, and then he'll probably pop up at the O2.
Oh, see,
If
like,
it was
look, see,
anyone
that's
else
that
apart
shit.
from
He's
Senior,
talking that
you
shit.
can not take it with a pinch of salt, but you can kind of say, okay, but ultimately, is his son getting in the ring?
And that's why, of course, but he's not fighting. Chris Eubank Jr. is fighting. He has people advising him, promoting him, representing him to do that job. And Junior knows the game. Junior knows what he signed up for. And Junior says that I'll make the weight easy and I'll knock him out in when I want to, basically. So he's got to make the weight first, which he'll look a bit silly if he doesn't, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I
Let's
keep
talk
saying
about
that
the
he'll look a little
contrast and
silly if he
build-ups over the
doesn't.
last
He's
few
like, you
weeks,
got to
because it
make
has
the
been
weight
quite
first. You see how
insane.
much they're putting
I
emphasis
watched
on the
these
weight.
clips, there was a few people
But lightly
suggesting
and
that
slightly, that's
maybe we
very
could further
comedic
clips.
and
I don't
very
think I think I saw Chris
promoter
Eubank
wise of
attacking
you,
him to
Eddie Hearn.
15
Is very
piece
smart of you. I got to give you the
chicken.
respect for that
Yeah,
one
his
right there.
food thing and all this. It's just
You
a
making
point to
sure
sell the fight.
you crossing your eye, you dot your T's. I give you the
I don't
respect.
know
You feel
if
me? And
I'm
I'm
wrong,
actually,
but I'm not sure he's
reverse that.
actually
You know what I'm saying? You
eating
dotting
the
your
entire
eyes,
burger or the
crossing
entire
your T's.
cake.
Actually,
If
that's
he
the
is,
first
fair
time.
play
So
to
yeah.
him. And if he makes 157, fair play to him. But yeah, I just feel like
Excuse me, my bad, yo.
he's trolling, and he's doing a great job because you have to understand.
Because we know he's
as much
trolling.
the similarities in the ring are also replicated outside of the ring, right? Junior is, he's sort of
Excuse me.
posturing, sort of teasing, whatever you want to call it. And Conor is just this fired up. I mean, they're their father's sons, and they just blend and mix so beautifully. Like at the press conference, like at the head-to-head.
Just be
face-off.
ready, Eddie.
It's brilliant to watch because you've got one guy who's just sort of winding the other young, fierce lion up.
See, he's going for that young
He's
aspect. He
hating, he's
think
just
Conor
prodding.
Ben got that
And that's
young
what you're
line.
seeing.
You know
And
what
all
I'm saying?
the
He's
stuff
going to
across
come in
social
with that.
media, like, I think when it first started,
Oh!
have you seen Eubank eating that
And
burger?
Eubank
Like,
gonna be ready. He's not gonna be ready
because
for it.
Connor's fired up, and Eubank will want to wind Conor
That's
up
what he's saying, man.
because he'll want Conor to make a mistake. He'll want him to be
That's what
reckless
he's
in there.
saying.
But Conor actually has to be aggressive but disciplined, and I think that the two just work beautifully together.
Has it been stated officially, Eddie, what the rehydration is for the next day?
No, but I said in many interviews it's around the same number as the IBF check weight,
Less than the IBF.
around the same original number.
I'm
They've
mad
actually
at it.
increased that number now, but the
All
original.
right, look,
number,
I'm not even
around
gonna go
10
crazy
pounds,
into it.
the rehydration.
I'm happy with everything I just saw right now. Eddie Hearn was on that bullshit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He was really trying to sell you for that kind of Ben side of the game. I'm not gonna roll for that. You're not gonna manipulate me. You're not gonna be able to entice me. You're not gonna be able to favor me. You're not gonna be able to put me on the side of the game where I don't even be on needs to be on the side of the game. And I'm supposed to, we say you thinking the nigga need to be on. Like, in my personal opinion, when it comes to that particular fight, Conor Ben, when it comes to a particular fight against Chris Eubank Jr., the way y'all seen Chris Eubank Jr. ain't right. Y'all don't got the right mindset. Y'all don't got the right outlook. Y'all don't got the right vision. Y'all don't got the right perspective. You feel me? You got to clear that up. Y'all got to make that right. You got to make sure that's a lot clearer. You know what I'm saying? You got to wipe off. You got to get the Windex. You know what I'm saying? Get the Windex, spray it on the glass. You know what I'm saying? If you use Windex on clear glass with a paper towel and you don't do the right motion when you clearing off the Windex, it's still gonna look like it's smeared. You feel me? So you gotta have all the capabilities together in one. You know what I'm saying? In this particular case, I feel like that's not how people are seeing it, even though that's how they should be seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Hearn's over there, he's just talking some bullshit. But I think this weekend, when it comes to Conor Ben versus Chris Eubank Jr., I think Chris Eubank Sr. has every right to say what he has to say. I think he has every right to talk about boycott. I think he has every right to say there's a danger coming in, what's going on, because at the end of the day, we have not seen Chris Eubank Jr. under this 160-pound weight limit. He's doing his first weight cut below that 160-pound division. He probably did that when he was way younger, but as of now, he's 33 years old, 34 years old. He's doing that weight cut. People want to say that Conor Ben's more in a disadvantage. He's definitely not in a disadvantage. That doesn't even make any sense because he's only 25 years old. We know at the end of the day, when he hits 28, 29, 30 years old, he's probably going to be fighting somewhere near, what I'm saying, probably the 154 to 160 division anyways. So he's really just kind of taking a step ahead and getting comfortable at a weight that he's going to have to get comfortable with in 2 to 3 years. So don't play them games with me. You know what I'm saying? This shit is obvious. This shit is apparent. This shit is right in front of your face. And for you to act the way you're acting is absolutely ridiculous to me. And it's like you're not even paying attention. You're not even focusing on what's really going on. And it's kind of weird to me. But I understand that because, you know what I'm saying, you guys want to be drawn in and like what you want to like. That's fine. Eddie Hearn says the shit y'all want to hear, y'all follow. Okay, bet Eddie Hearn saying this. I'm listening. Eddie Hearn is built and made and absolutely bred for this type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Like, for real. So this is what I'm finna do. This is what I'm finna do. Before, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I'm up out of here. I want to play one more video. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Just because, you know what I'm saying, y'all hopping up in here, y'all late side of the game. I don't know why y'all always do this. Y'all be missing all the good shit. Y'all always come on the late inside the game, but I'm gonna play one more video. You feel me? If y'all up in here, man, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel. But when it comes to Conor Benn, when it comes to Chris Eubank Jr., I think there has to be a lot more respect put on this particular fight. So we're gonna pull out some of these particular interviews when it comes to Chris Eubank Jr., when it comes to Conor Benn. We definitely not gonna watch the whole thing. We'll probably do like 2 or 3 minutes of the actual interview. There's some long ass interviews. Salute to the boxing channel, seconds out. You feel me? So let's go ahead. Let's get these pulled up. We'll do 2 to 3 minutes. We're gonna do Chris Eubank Jr. first, about 2 to 3 minutes of his interview, and then second, we're gonna do Conor Benn. We're gonna do about 2 to 3 minutes of his interview as well. So I'm pulling that up right now for the people. You feel me? Here we go. Let's get it popping for the people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see where the interview's coming from, so y'all can go ahead and subscribe to the channels.
We would end up fighting each other. There's too much nostalgia. There's too much history. There's too much excitement and fantasy about it for it not to happen at some point. Now, did I think it was going to happen this quickly? No. After I beat Liam Williams, you know, Conor Benn was not on my radar.
Yeah.
But you know, he's been doing his thing. He's on a hot streak. He's knocking guys out. He's getting bigger and stronger, and he's putting himself into a position where the fight makes sense at this moment in time. Financially, promotionally, physically, the fight can be made. He wants it. He says he's going to beat me. He's going to be the first man to stop me.
Says he's going to knock you out.
Yeah, you know, it's incredible to hear. My job now is to show him what boxing really is. He's never been in a fight like this before. He's never been in a super fight. I have. I know that.
So real quick, like I said, we're gonna do about 4 minutes of each interview. But what do you guys think about that? Just in the beginning, Eubank Jr. is basically saying that Conor Benn has never been in a fight like that. He's surprised that Conor Benn is saying that he has a possibility of knocking him out. You know, he's personally saying that, you know, he's on another level than Conor Benn. What is your guys' personal opinion? Do you think Eubank Jr. is just being cocky? Do you think he's just being over the top? Do you think he's just being, you know, full of himself? Is his ego too big? Or is it right now he's just speaking affirmations into the air to make sure that he does exactly what he's supposed to do when he goes out there? How do you guys feel about the whole entire situation?
I know the world stage. I know the big fights. I know what it's like to walk out in front of 20,000. That's my comfort zone. This is all new to him. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he handles it.
So many big fights for you out there at 160 or 168, right? I know you've campaigned there. I do think your best weight is 160. Is this bigger than, obviously, look, Canelo and GGG are the ones.
You can tell Chris Eubank Jr. when he said that, he was like, nigga, how you gonna tell me what my best weight is? Nigga, I will say this though real quick. I don't know how much truth there is for Chris Eubank Jr. saying that Conor Benn was not in his eyesight or was not in his perspective. And this is why I want to say this. And real quick, I'm gonna bring right back up this interview real quick. So y'all, if y'all ain't here, hit the like button real quick. I'm gonna bring the interview back up real quick. But I want to say this because I want you guys to get to the point. Chris Eubank Jr. is capping. I don't got none of my hats around me, but he's capping. He's capping when he says Conor Benn was not on his radar. The reason why Chris Eubank Jr. is capping is because he wanted the Kell Brook fight. And a lot of people understand, and if you are a Kell Brook fan like myself, you know that Conor Benn was also someone else who wanted the Kell Brook fight. So there's a big reason why I personally believe Chris Eubank Jr. is capping to the extent where he's saying he never saw Conor Benn on his radar, because Chris Eubank Jr. wants the Kell Brook fight. And surprisingly, to our surprise, Kell Brook is saying he would love to face the winner of Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, let me go back to this interview for the people.
Right. But aside from those two, is this bigger than the other options at 160 or 168?
Yeah. I mean, Canelo and GGG, those are the marquee names. But in terms of like British boxing,
Yeah.
there's no fight bigger than this. Before the fight was even announced, we were both on the front page of magazines, just because of the whispers.
Yeah.
That's how excited people got.
Was you surprised about the reaction on social media? People went crazy when it was announced. Bear in mind, we kind of got hints from yourself and Chris that it's going to happen. So I thought maybe when the announcement happened that people might be we kind of knew it was going to happen anyway. Twitter broke. People went crazy. Like, you got the older generation because of the nostalgia. They got the younger generation that know you and Conor. Were you surprised?
No, I know what this fight is to a lot of people. People are emotionally.
The way this nigga Chris Eubank Jr. be talking, he be like, no. Like, I be like, some low ball, like when I be seeing his responses, I be like, nah, man, you surprised, but like he just be so calm when he be saying it. That's why I be like, man, I don't know, man. I still say, man, I'm really not a big fan of him not bringing Roy Jones Jr. into this camp, because I think it would have been beneficial, because how involved is your daddy in this camp? I don't think he's that involved unless it's all a publicity stunt.
Invested in the Eubank Benn dynasties, the history, the blood that's been spilled. It's British heritage, it's folklore, it's legend. And for those two legends to have the fights that they had, captivating the public, becoming superstars, for those two legends to have sons and fight 30 years later, it's unheard of.
Yeah.
It's never happened before in the history of boxing.
No.
And it will never happen again.
And I agree with that. It's never happened before. Will it never happen again? You know what I'm saying? Life is forever. So, you know what I'm saying? We ain't long gone. It may happen again. But this is legendary. This is the first time it's ever happened. It's historic. That's why I'm gonna make sure, family. I'm usually late to everything, but I'm gonna make sure when it comes to this particular event, I'm gonna be on time. We're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna be going crazy for it, because this is a very historic moment, and we gotta appreciate it, because this is a very rare moment, for real. Let's go before we end the night, man. Before we finish everything, because you know what I'm saying, it's on the late side of the night. It's later than I wanted it to be, with what I was doing, but I'm not mad at it, because at the end of the day, I'm definitely enjoying my night. But I want to go ahead. Excuse me. I want to do just the very beginning of Conor Benn's interview as well. From Seconds Out, salute to Seconds Out. Feel free to copyright. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making no money out of this, so I'm not mine. I want to appreciate you, but we're gonna do a little bit of the Conor Benn as well, because this is gonna be a good time, man. I can't wait for this weekend. I can't wait for Fluence Lounge. The last weekend we had no Fluence Lounge. It's all good. All right, so I'm gonna put the captions on. We're gonna do. I'm gonna roll this up for y'all. We just got done watching Chris Eubank Jr. Seconds Out, salute to you. We're gonna watch the Conor Benn. And then after that, you know what I'm saying, we're going to wrap everything up. You already know what it is. So to people, man, hit the like button, show some love, comment on it, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, subscribe. It don't even matter, man. We out here, man. It's YouTube. Shit ain't serious. All right, let's start this up for you.
Last fight was a draw, and they tried to make the third fight happen for numerous of years. Even at the ages of 50, they tried to make the fight happen, didn't materialize. You sort of
hit that like button, yo.
Fate has taken part, and the stars have aligned for this occasion.
When did it become a reality? I think I remember when Eubank fought Liam Williams. I remember you tweeting something after that fight, like, I fancy that, or something like that. Just
I fancy my chances at a catchweight.
Yeah, that's it. You said
but
that.
Then before that, me and Eubanks have had maybe little run-ins, and then Calais put up a post maybe 2 years before that saying, I sense in a not too near distant future, Benn Eubank.
Yeah.
So here we are. And, he was right. And I was right in saying I fancy my chance at catchweight. It was a fantasy fight. Never did I think the fight would materialize. It was such a big fantasy fight.
Yeah.
All these big, massive fights always take.
They're impossible to make.
They're impossible to make, mainly because of egos, which I don't have much of.
Does he have one?
You tell me.
Well, I'm interviewing him in a few minutes. I'll tell you
So
after.
you ask him, yeah, and you tell me
after.
after. You know, all the ring walking second and Eubank Benn and home corner. I couldn't care less.
Yeah,
it makes no difference to me. It makes no difference to the night. You know, my ego ain't that big. You know, so I can see why fights are hard to get made, because then when you have two people arguing about things that don't really even matter,
yeah,
you know, you're losing focus on what the main goal is. And the main goal for me is to get the win October the 8th. Irrelevant of whether I ring walk second or first. Just give me a tiny ring and we're good.
You're deviating from the plan a bit, though, aren't you? Like, when I look at your last sort of 3-4 opponents, I almost feel like, okay, I can see the plan here. I can see what you're doing in LG.
All right. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna go too crazy into them. You know what I'm saying? I do want to keep, you know what I'm saying, staying on the live, keep going forward. But you know what I'm saying? It's getting late on my side. It is Monday. You already know, like, look, it's very funny. Like every night, it's almost, you know what I'm saying? I really appreciate y'all BlakGooseTV family, because I'm like, every night it's like, I'm not gonna go live. And I end up going live. My problem is cutting it up, giving y'all the clips, giving y'all the shit that you want to see. But y'all, I'm telling you, I'm finna start leveling up when it comes to this particular channel. When it comes to this, you know, I like if y'all been a long OG family member, I've been this way. I've been saying this, but it may be longer than people expected, but I always leveled up. I'm trying not to make it that long of a wait. So I promise y'all, like, next year is gonna be on some shit. But I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna keep coming on, giving y'all content, keep doing what we're doing. I appreciate everybody who comes in here, joins me. Please hit the like button, show some love. If you're not part of the BlakGooseTV family, man, you feel me? Subscribe to the channel, notification gang, comment. Man, I'm telling you, I got a lot of big ideas. I got a lot of big upgrades. I got a lot of good stuff that's coming when it comes to this channel. So, you know what I'm saying? Keep rocking with me. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep showing love. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Not stressed. On Schwarzenegger side of the game, I'll be back. But with more boxing, you already know what time it is. Keep supporting all the content. Keep supporting everything when it comes to the channel. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm out for now. I'll be back. You already know what it is. Fluenceboxing, baby. Much love.